Hello everyone and welcome back to Dees Nerds. I'm Michelle and today we're going to be doing a book review of Bloodline by Claudia Gray, another one of the Star Wars canon novels. As you guys know by now, I've been working my way through the Star Wars canon novels starting after Return of the Jedi. So that's where I began, and I'm getting a pretty good ways through this now. I'm actually currently in the middle of reading The Force Awakens, the novelization, so I'll let you know how that one goes when I get there. So this one is Bloodline. And this one focuses on Leia. So it's sometime after the events of the original trilogy. Leia's supposed to be in her 40s. She's a senator again with the New Republic Galactic Senate. And honestly, by this point in things, she's getting really tired of politics. She's starting to feel like they're just going round and round in circles and no one's really getting anything done. So as things tend to do, the Senate has split. And there are groups that are the populists who kind of want the planets to be more autonomous. They can, mostly control things on their own, just within a set of guidelines set by the Senate, essentially. And then the centrists have more of the empirical view. So they think that there should be someone who is ruling and in charge over all of those planets and should be very well controlled and very specifically managed. And so the centrists and the populists disagree basically fundamentally here. The populists start to see the centrists as feeling very much like the Empire all over again. And that's the last thing that they want, of course, because they just spent all this time on doing that. So the two factions, because they're warring constantly in the Senate, are not really accomplishing anything. And Leia is weary. And she's basically ready to put in her resignation, go enjoy the rest of her life with Han, and just leave it behind. But she decides she needs one last adventure when some particular things come up to her, and she finds herself not willingly placed on an adventure with a centrist. And his name is Ransom Casturfo. He's another one of the senators, and she doesn't particularly like him. She thinks that he's kind of a preener and that he's very self-important and narcissistic, and she just doesn't find him appealing at all. She finds him obnoxious. So when he volunteers to come along with her, she just doesn't want anything to do with him. And another important character in this is Lady Carice, and she is from the planet Arcanus. And her role in this story is rather interesting because what she actually wants of Leia is really not anything to do with what's going on in the Senate, but her planet is one that still has some kind of figurehead as a ruler, not that they're really doing anything. And the honorary title has, for some reason, been left to Leia. And Leia keeps telling this girl, I don't want the title. I don't want it. Like, just you take it. You're the next one after me that would be able to take it. So just take it. I don't want it. And while Lady Carice seems to be on Leia's side in all of this, of course, she has some things to hide as well. And in addition, of course, we know by this point, we've known for a long time now, that Leia is Luke's twin sister and the daughter of Darth Vader. But she talks about in the book how she's stayed very careful to not let that information out. So that becomes a very large role in this story when the information is outed for her and her having to deal with the fallout from that. And so that's kind of where this is going with the whole idea of the book being called Bloodline, is her having to deal with, okay, the information's out there now. People know I'm Darth Vader's daughter. Now what do I do? Now what are people going to think of me? Does that change what I've done? Does it change what I'm doing? And so I think that aspect of it was rather interesting. This is a rather short installment. It is 334 pages, and I was able to read it pretty quickly. It is, for me, not my favorite. The parts where she's on adventures, because there are several points in this where she kind of has adventurous moments on various planets, kind of working this mission with Casturfo. And those are interesting, but then there's also a lot of politics. So if you really don't like reading about politics, this may not be your book. However, I will say that the ending, I think, is worth what you go through to get there, because it essentially sets us up for The Force Awakens beautifully. It leaves us at the beginning of the New Rebellion. So you're getting that beginning all over again with Leia. But you have to sort of wade through a lot of politics to get there. And sometimes the politics are too much, and it's just not my favorite. So I would say for this book, I would give it a 3 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I think the ending makes it worth it, and I think her moments of adventure in the middle make it worth it, but the politics for me are what drag it down to 3. Otherwise, I think I would have maybe given it a 4. but the level of politics was more than I really wanted. But like I said, the payoff is great. You do get some classic character moments from people that you recognize. You get some excitement. You do get to see Leia kind of thinking she's having her last hurrah, but of course we know she's got some things left ahead of her for an adventure. Again, that's 3 stars out of 5. I think that's pretty good, and it was definitely interesting to see how we reverted back to being in rebellion all over again in this universe. So I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope it was helpful. I hope it encourages you either to read, or if you don't want to read it, not to read the book. If you did like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel and to see when we have more content, and be sure to ring the bell to get notifications whenever we post a new video. I'm Michelle, and this is Dees Nerds. Have a great day. Bye.